The wheels on the tractor go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the tractor go round and round all through the town. Hello farmers and welcome back to American Falls. As you have just seen, whether you like to or not, I was over at the BGA compacting all the grass off the grass field from the pig farm field. Took a shortcut through there, and the good thing is, I think last time we got the grass, we got like a little bit over 420,000 liters. This time we got 450 and change. So like a 7 or 8% increase in the amount of grass out the field, which is great. So next month that'll be, well, it should be silage by then. And of course, it'll all go into the BGA to be processed into electricity, methane, and some digestate. While I was doing all the grass picker-upper stuff, fun here, the Franks have been busy. Let's go ahead and collect on some contracts, shall we? About $20,000 worth of contracts. Let's collect on those, getting us back up to 84,000. But our first job here today in this episode is sorghum. I want to plant sorghum in this field so we can bring this on down later in the season to be processed into, well, this regular flour. It doesn't really matter what kind of grain we put in there. It all comes out as flour. And we don't need as much grass as we're going to have here once the other grass field really gets going, which it kind of is at this current point. Oh, and also to remind me, someone left a comment that they were saying the cows do need total mix ration. And I don't think I showed it in last episode. If I did, and I'm re-showing it, I apologize. But let's just show how the cows are actually doing with hay alone. So we can see we just got hay in there. It says 88%, but the health is 100%, and their productivity is at 100%. I mean, yeah, you can feed them TMR. That's fine. Do what you feel like you need to be doing. But hay alone will do us fine here for this cow farm. I'd rather just make hay than make a whole bunch of material to make TMR. I mean, if their health was 100% and the productivity was 90% or 88% or whatever, maybe in the future I would do some TMR, but with hay alone, they're going to be just fine, it looks like. As for the pigs, their health is slowly going back up. I do need to feed them here. I'll probably feed them before we go. Well, I definitely should feed them before we go into the month of May, but we got some more work to do here in April 1st. I got the other grass field. As we tended the grass last time, I need to lease a windrower, and I'll probably windrow with the Landini, and this Fendt 1000 can follow behind us with the baler and make hay bales. I was over, because one of the Franks fertilized the field over by the sheep. I went over there to check on the sheep. I gave them some more hay, and they're starting to run a little bit low on bales as well. So I think the first two cuts this year, well, we just did one cut. The next cut is also going to be hay also. And when we get to the third cut, we'll see how we're doing. But all three cuts this year may be hay. Because, well, the cows are going to reproduce. I can't remember, is it 18 months or 10 months to reproduce? I kind of forgot. But they are currently reproducing, but they're in the early stages because we just got them in March. So it's going to be a moment. But our Jersey cattle will be reproducing maybe by the end of the year. Have to wait and see. But, yeah, next cut in the grass field will be hay. And then when it comes to the third cut, we'll see how we're doing. And if we're doing really good, then I'll just take that field and bring it over to the BGA, compact it, silage, and into the bin it goes. But other than that, the BGA should be just used for now in the future the manure from the pigs and cows and slurry from the pigs and cows to be producing what it needs. So it feels pretty good to be putting some crop in other than for feeding the animals. Like I said, this will all go down to our grain mill. And I know I've been saying I don't want to buy any more fields, and I don't think I really want to. But I was taking a shortcut with the grass through the field that you can kind of see next field over that. It's got the lime in it. I was kind of thinking, you know what? That wouldn't be a bad field to buy take down some of those trees and merge that field with this one? I don't know. I don't know if I want to create more field work for myself. That'll be something in the future. We got other things to take care of first, like the production buildings, which I want to get to. I mean, getting the next production building down, that's going to be a great help for us. I think replacing the greenhouses over there will definitely make more money that way. And I'm kind of hoping in the month of June is when we'll have that down. 200,000 for it. Like I've been saying, we're about halfway there because I got to sell the greenhouses to make room. And I'll get 30 grand for the greenhouses. So if you add a 30 grand to what we got now, we are more than halfway there. I don't think I can get it done with some contracts within the next month, since the planting season is pretty much nearing its end. So all the fields, contract fields that we would have for fertilizing, I think they're pretty much come and gone, at least all the good ones. But I have seen some of the NPC fields reset their fertilizing stage. And I think one year, I fertilized some of the fields behind the farm here more than twice. So I'm not going to complain. If the farmers want it done, I'll go fertilize it. It pays pretty darn good. So this should be a pretty decent sized field of sorghum. I don't know what to expect for yield off it. I really can't remember how much rye I think it was. When we bought the field, there was a field of rye in here. But of course, it wasn't soil sample, or was it? Did I soil sample it and all that before I harvested it? I don't think so. Maybe I did. It's been a while. But I can't remember the yield that we got off that field, or this field when it was rye. Either way, it should be in pretty good shape for when we harvest it this time. And I can't wait to... The sooner the better I can bring this down, because the flour sells good in January. Let me just look at a few things here. So we're planting sorghum. Where are we for sorghum? We're planting it in the first month. So we might be able to harvest it in August, which is great, because I'll give it time for the grain mill to produce the flour. And flour, actually I do have flour. The best time to sell it is January. So that gives it September, October, November, December. That gives it like 5 months to get the grain into flour. I think it should do just fine, depending how much we get off this field, right? All depends on that. But as for today anyways, as you know, we're planting this field. We're going to make some hay bales here in just a moment. And then that may be all we need to do in the month of April. I did fertilize the second cornfield that we planted last episode. So all of our fields, it should be completely fertilized, other than the grass field I got to make the hay on. Once I get the hay off that, I got to re-fertilize it. But other than that, yeah, we're pretty much all set to go. Selling the pigs, I got to wait for their health to get back up. So I'm hoping that when I take care of them here very shortly, by the time we get to the month of May, we give them a good month here, that their health will be up all the way, and we can look at maybe selling some more pigs. Just selling the ones that are worth like $600 and above, I think, is what we're looking at. That's all we're really doing. And most of the time when I go into the pigs and sell them, we're making about 20, 25 grand. So I'll have to see how we do next month. I know one thing, when I was picking up the grass, I'm glad, originally when I was looking at the TARDIS forage wagons, which a couple of you guys recommended me to use, I was going to get this, the quote-unquote standard one, which picked up like about 50,000 liters, which was an upgrade from our original Hottinger forage wagon that I think held about 24,000. And then I hem and hawed about it, and we bought the one that held 200,000 liters, and I'm glad I did, because that saved me. I mean, you look at 50,000 liters, which is a nice size forage wagon, but at 400,000 liters, that's still, you know, almost 9 trips back and forth to the BGA. With the 200,000 liter capacity, it was 3 trips. So, yeah, cutting back the travel time back and forth does save a lot. Plus, the silage additive capacity is quite a bit, so I'm not refilling that all the time. Let's see. I'm trying to see if we're going to need more fertilizer by the time we get done with this field. It's going to be kind of close, but I think we have enough fertilizer. Seed, we should have more than enough. Yeah, this little area here, I'm thinking maybe someday we'll put down some solar panels, but that'll be just before we leave. Because that way, whoever takes over this farm, it should be the community that takes over this farm. If they don't do that good of a job at it, I'm not saying I'm doing a great job, but I think I'm doing a decent job. At least they'll have the solar panels to make them some money. And in case you weren't here for the first few episodes of American Falls, the backstory to American Falls, as Lancey Boy puts it, the previous farmer that was here and running the farm for the community pretty much sold all the land and all the equipment that he had and took the money for himself, or themselves. So we came in here with just a little bit of cash, and we've been upgrading the farm, buying more land as we go, and we're just trying to get it in good running order before we leave. And it's taken us, we're in year number 8 at this point. I don't know exactly the amount of fields that we have purchased or the amount of land we have purchased, but is it near like 10 lots of land, somewhere around there? So we're doing good for ourselves, and of course we got all the equipment that we have. The Valtra and the Landini we bought brand new. The Fent was used, along with the harvester, and a couple of our implements were used. But now we're starting to rotate over to just buying new stuff because the money is starting to come in at a decent pace. Shouldn't take me more than maybe another 5 or so minutes to get the rest of this field planted. And then we'll hook this up to the baler and head on over to the grass field, and then I'll grab the Landini, go on down to the store, and we'll lease a windrower.
I know that I haven't been who I was. I am supposed to be the one you can trust. I feel so useless 'cause I let you down. I hope there's some way I can make it alright, 'cause I know that you deserve much more than this. If you give me one more chance, I swear I'll try my best to always be there. And I want you to know that I'm lost without you. I'm not without you. I hope I can show what you mean to me, 'cause I don't know what to do if you go. Ooh, I just don't know what to do if you go. I've been so selfish.
Although it feels good to not have to do as much grass work with this field now being transferred over to sorghum, financially, as I mentioned, I think last episode, it'd be a lot better if I did leave it grass. But having to cut grass 3 times a year in a field can get to be a lot of work. But the few times we did cut this grass field, that almost right there has repaid for what this land value was. We've cut it twice, but we've taken off nearly 900,000 liters of grass, which then gets transferred to silage, and that's what's been processed over at the BGA, or will have been processed. So, yeah, we're almost getting our money back just on 2 grass cuts alone. And had plenty of fertilizer for this field, which is good. I think the nitrogen and pH value are going to be very darn good. pH value has dropped a little bit. We did put down some lime in the last year, but we've now done 1 cut of grass. That's going to drop it down a little bit. Rolling we don't do. Weeds are growing. We'll take care of the weeds in the month of May. We got to wait for the cornfields and this field to start growing. With precision farming, spraying for weeds until they grow, really not worth it. Nope, that's where that trailer is at. Actually, no, you go over here. Kind of forgot where my drill went. I've been just putting out my implements anywhere. You just start putting some stuff away. I'm actually leaving the mowing equipment over at the cow farm now because that's where the only grass field's going to be, so may as well put it there. You know, when I put this silo down, I thought that was a great location, and then as I keep trying to put my implements away in the shed over here, it's kind of, it's not in the way, but in the way of my viewing. The grain trailer, let's go ahead and put, no, I'm going to be using that in a while to feed the pigs, so leave that out. But now I need to grab the baler. I'm going to bring this over to the grass field, of course. If I could back up to it kind of where it needs to be so I can hook up to it, that's great. And I'm hoping the Landini is here. Yep, should be here. I couldn't remember where I used it last, but it is there. But I'll see you down at the store with the Landini, because we got to get ourselves a windrower to, of course, put the hay into a nice swath so this Fendt can pick it up. Well, I'm thinking for a windrower, go big or go home. I mean, I'm just leasing it, but also trying to save up that money as much as I can, so I don't want to overspend. Let's dive in here. Windrowers. I do want a decent working width. So let's see here. That's 14. That's 15. Well, that for a 0.3 meter difference, 62,000 versus 90,000. That's 90,000 for 14. I think this one right here, the Coon, is going to be our best option. 14 meters for 92,000. 14.7 for 62,000. I am trying to use different equipment that I haven't used before. But man, that is a pretty darn good price. So let's go ahead and lease this. $31.62 to lease it. That's not too bad. But I will say this much. If it comes up for sale in a couple of days, for the meters and the price, this is our best option. Now, I did see a comment in the last episode about our tedder probably should be upgraded or be a bit bigger, which is true. I think I kind of mentioned that last episode. But that, you know, for price-wise, for now, I think it's going to be fine. But definitely, yeah, when that grass field, we'll see it next time when we cut the grass. It's going to take me a bit longer to do so. Also, I could use, like we're going to be doing now, the follow me method, where when I mow the grass, it might be wise to have a worker behind me tending it as we go. And then we can kind of get it done in two passes, if that makes sense. So when we cut the grass, we'll cut it, and then have a worker behind us following us, tending it. And then we'll be doing the same step as we're doing here, which is windrow and bale. And I kind of forgot I left this mower here, so let's go ahead and we'll drop that off for just a moment. Kind of hoping this will fit into the shed at the cow barn, because the tedder just barely fit underneath the roof. I do see I got some grass there that wasn't tedded, so hopefully it'll get converted on over. Will this actually fit under the roof? Not really. Can I lower it? Oh, when you lower it, it unfolds. Okay, what about... I didn't even look at this shed last time, but maybe I'll have to convert things over to here. What's this building like? Is that the only door in here? Too bad there wasn't a door over here, a big door. That'd be very convenient. But I guess I could just put this mower in here for now. That should fit in there, right? Alright, we'll just stick that in that back corner. There we go. Alright, let's go grab that windrower, throw that on, and yep, we'll start making some hay. Well, the hay's already made. We'll start making some hay bales. Turn the beacons off. Don't need that in our own field. Well, I don't know. If Frank gets in behind us, maybe I would want the beacons on. Let's go around. I thought I had room back. Yeah, maybe I did have room behind to turn around, but we got plenty here. All right. And now let's get this all set up. All right, let's go ahead and reset the bale counter. Although we got a half of a bale already in the baler, but should be all set. 25 meters. You know what? I'll put you to 30 meters. Waiting due to detected near collision. Put you at 40 meters. I do have a worker in there, right? Yes, we do, and it's Frank Jr. Frank Jr. will be following behind us today. Now, of course, when we get to the corners, they will miss a few bits here and there. But I can go around and collect it afterwards. That is a pretty good swath that we got building up there, so that's looking pretty darn good. And we should have 260,000 liters of hay in this field. And what is it, like 9,000 liters in a bale of hay? Or is it 7,000 liters in a bale of hay? Well, if it's 7,000 liters, we should get somewhere around 40 bales. Well, that sounds like a lot when I say it like that. And then we should be doing pretty darn good for ourselves when we get all of the grass field cut in one go. But even next time, it's not going to be at its full potential because this field right here, this part of the field that we're in, is going to be in the first harvest stage while the other one will be in the full harvest stage. But then after that, the entire field should be on the same cycle. And then we can kind of get a true number of what we'll get off the field. Hopefully I can get that grass that's kind of in the road. We can. Perfect. Yeah, this windrower seems to be a good working width for this field. Oh yeah, they're really looking at the bales. The bales are being dropped at a really good rate over there. Although it looks like the working width of the baler is not quite picking up the entire swath. So that kind of sucks a little bit. Alright, and then I'm just going to turn around and start doing some rows here. Yeah, you're picking up like the full swath there, but on that side over there, you can see we missed a few pieces. And honestly, I'll probably just leave those there. It's not like in FS19 when we were running the Seasons mod where grass, hay, and straw would decompose. when out in the elements of nature. That will just, I mean, these little patches that are being missed will stay there, so not that big of a deal. Ooh, I'm not sure if I can make the corner here. I kind of can. Really need another pass through there. Yeah, so it looks like when the baler is headed south, that it's missing a little bit of the swath. Well, not a whole lot I can do about it. Like I said, I can go around afterwards. But then that kind of defeats the purpose of having a worker behind us doing all the work. If I got to do the same path that they did, well, I'm doing it anyways. And who knows, I probably may miss a few bits here and there as well. And so hopefully this grass that hasn't been turned will convert all over to hay. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It looks like most of it did. I think when I get up here a little bit, I'm going to jump out and see how many liters are in a bale of hay. But my math was telling me, 40, but if we get 250,000 liters, that's closer to, like, 35 bales? I'll just give Frank Jr. a second to catch up a little bit. 8,000 liter bales. All right. So that's going to bring it closer to like 30 bales in the field. Still a pretty darn good number. Now, the only problem about doing it with someone following you with a baler is the bales will start getting in your way when you're trying to go around with a windrower. At least the fence doesn't come out all the way to here. I could take that fence down because we do own the field right behind us as well. So I don't really need a fence dividing my property to my property. And I'm kind of guessing that this other part of the grass field is going to add about 150,000 liters to our total. So in theory, I'm thinking this grass field, when at 100%, is going to give us around 400,000 liters when cut. Which is pretty close to what the other field was giving us. I still remember way back when I bought this grass field that we're working in, I think I was going to put oats in it. I'm like, why would I, oats would be good. I could make flour out of it. But really, I should start looking at a grass field to make silage. And that helped us get to where we are today. Actually, let me try to sneak some of this hay that was missed over here. And maybe now that we don't have hay fully across, that the swath won't be as big, and Frank Jr. can pick up the whole swath when he comes back this general direction. It looks like when he travels north, he picks up the whole swath, but when he's traveling south, he's missing some of it. Let's try to miss the bales that were put down here. I mean, overall, Frank is doing a pretty darn good job. Even on the corners, he's getting most of it. I didn't check for cars. I'm just going to drive out, and hopefully Frank Jr. doesn't have any problem with the traffic either. Although that is a pretty busy street. Yeah, we're getting most of the hay now because I'm doubling back on some of the areas that were missed. Yeah, so if I were to get a bigger windrower, that's just going to leave bigger swaths, and that will just leave the worker behind us having more difficulty picking up the entire swath when they follow us. So I think this will be the windrower that we go for when it comes time, whether if it comes up used or eventually buy it brand new. I'll probably just wait for it to come up brand new, honestly. Just don't come up used tomorrow because I'm really trying to get up to that 200,000 to buy that production building. Well, looks like Frank Jr. didn't have any problem with traffic, which is great. And I think we're all set here with me windrowing. Yep, we're all set there. So we're going to do a little bit of a magic here by just going into the store page and returning that. You know, barely use it for like 6-8 minutes, right? Somewhere around there. Let's go ahead and return that. Yeah, too late, already gone. So we're all set there. Now let me go ahead and park the Landini there. And we're just going to hop in here with Frank Jr. 26 bales currently. I don't know. Does that count the ones that were dropped? I don't think so. All right. Thank you. Let's go ahead and... Oh, we got to turn it off and then drop. So that's 28. We almost got the 29th bale. Do I have enough to make the 29th bale? I just need another 1,000 liters. And I don't think I'm going to get it even with this pass here. I might be surprised. I mean, next time I use it, will probably be in the hayfield. May, June, July. I think we'll have the wheat to harvest before that. But I can leave the straw in the field and bale it afterwards. Yeah, not going to quite get there. But you know what? Good enough. I just use it on the hills of Tuscany. I don't think I activated unload bales. I forgot what the mod's called. But it'll allow us to unload bales as long as the baler is at least 10% full. I did that for the cotton harvester on the hills of Tuscany because that was kind of annoying. But here it's not too important. So our Jersey cattle are going to be happy. We got some bales for them. And actually, you know what? This baler... I think I'll put it in the other shed. So turn around here. Although the fence just barely fits underneath here as well. Can I make that corner? We can. Actually, the baler just barely fits under. Yeah, the beacon's kind of clipped through the beam there, but just ignore that. Just ignore that. Oh yeah, and as for the random cow that we sometimes get out here. Oh, okay, they weren't there a while ago, but now we got two. I guess you can call them free-range cows at that point, right? Since they're getting out of the fence somehow. They don't go anywhere. Our Jersey cattle are well behaved. Alright, so back to the pig farm. We gotta grab our low loader, and we're gonna grab those hay bales and then put them into the shed that I was trying to last time. Hopefully the autoloader for the bales will work for me today. It's like 50-50 when it wants to work. I mean, it will autoload them, but I want it to autoload as I'm driving, where I don't have to come to a complete stop. Oh, it actually shows up there. Control, Shift, and R. Wait, it says auto bale mode disabled. We want to enable it. There we go. We're all set on that point, so it should work. Sometimes it shows me that where I can do it, and sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't work. But today it looks like it's going to. Fingers crossed. Kind of weird how I gotta just keep, you know, left turn, right turn, left turn, right turn, left turn, right turn. Oh yeah, and somebody did say sell the fermenting silo. It'd be great if I owned it. Just because we bought the land, we don't own it. So I would get 30 grand for that, but I had to buy it first, which would be 60 grand, and then sell it for 30. So I would just lose $30,000 doing it that way. So we should be able to get all these on the trailer. I don't know why I was thinking this the other day. I was walking around the house and I was thinking about actually PAX East, and kind of wish I went, but with a snowstorm that came through, I decided not to. Yeah, when you got 2 feet of snow coming to your location, it's not wise to travel. But anyway, yeah, I was thinking, you know, I was kind of hoping they would announce FS25 or something. But we're still waiting to see what's going to happen. Probably not until July. But I was thinking, when FS25 does come out, all the mods that we're so used to having right away, like autoloaders and such stuff like that, may take a few days. And going a few days without the mods we're so used to, yeah, I just feel it's going to feel kind of weird. Did I grab them all? I think so. That is all of the hay bales. That's a good amount of hay bales for half the field. Let me go ahead and just take a quick screenshot of that, just in case I want to make it as my thumbnail, which you may or may not have already seen. If you're asking, how can you not seen it? We clicked on the video. As some people don't look at the thumbnails. Alright, down to our shed here. And now that we own the place, we can open up the door. Let's go to the other side. I mean, I think I got room for like 4 trailer loads of bales in here. I'm just hoping for the autoloader that there's enough room for it to autoload to one side. It may see the wall and be like, no, it's too close. I think right there would be good. What side are we autoloading on? I guess it doesn't matter. It says to the right. Oh, you know what I gotta do? I gotta turn off, because I don't have a full load, so they strap in. There we go. Like, why want to unload? Alright, right against the wall. Do I have enough room for... Can't get the camera angle just right. Do I have enough room for like another trailer? No, we don't. So 2 trailer loads is basically what I can put in here. Now, of course, I could always fiddle around and get a third load in at some point. Do I want to park this? I think I'm going to park this over here. Problem is, the dolly I need for the tankers, so I think we'll just put that off there and bring the dolly back with us to the farm. And maybe I'll just park the tanker over here as well at some point. But I'm probably going to use the tanker before I use the low loader again. Not grabbing the slurry at this point because there's not much in there. Because the production is down. Because the health of the animals is down. Attach to that. And then we just unattach from there. And we are pretty much all good. We'll have to feed the pigs next time. Now, let me just go over to here. The trigger is... There it is. So, yeah, the value of the pigs is not going to be great because their health is rather low. But as their health goes up, we'll be able to find some pigs, I'm sure. Like something like this. These females right here, they're worth $333. Once their health goes up, I think they'll be worth selling. Actually, we got a lot of them at $333. So, got to get their health up. So, maybe next month we'll sell the pigs if it's all good. But now our sorghum field is all set to go. We just got to spray for weeds next month. We don't need the chainsaw. Don't even know how that even got activated. But yeah, I got to wait for the crops to grow and the weeds to sprout. And next month we'll lease the See and Spot weed sprayer. I got to go around to all the fields just to get our score up on some of them. I'm going to be doing some fields that don't have weeds in the field. But I got to get this weed control. Yeah, you can see it's not all the way up. And yeah, you can see we got some values here that's not so great. The one section that's kind of killing me, and if I go back to there we go. This lot of land right here is kind of killing me because it's showing me, well, it's going back a few episodes, but that is kind of leaking over. I'm trying to remember. I think this field here, this lot of land that we buy here is kind of leaking over a little bit. So there's no land there, but yeah, can't do much about it. But as for our other fields, we got to get the values up into it. But we can see the rest of our fields are the numbers looking good. This field right here, we really haven't harvested it yet. So that stuff will get reset when I spray it for weeds, which is the third bar. That score will go on up. But I mean, overall, we do have a 12% bonus when we sell some stuff currently. And this field here, same thing. I haven't sprayed for weeds in it yet. So I think our score will go like from like 91 to make 94. Maybe we'll get like a 13% bonus to that point. But the bonus is always good. And yes, sooner or later, we'll get up to having $200,000 in the bank account. But I think it's all going to matter for this stuff over here. As we come on over to here, the BGA. You can see it's covered on up. And it's probably going to be like at 2% at best. 5%, so it's getting there. We'll have to lease the belt and dump it all into the BGA. But that's 450,000 liters of grass being converted now over to silage. And once that production starts going, I think we'll get up to the money we need. And then in June, I think that's when it'll happen, we'll be putting down our production building as well. But anyways, that's where we're going to wrap it up for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. And I'll catch you again right here in American Falls. But until then, have a good one.